And welcome back to the week of Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from, and this is a very interesting name here, Hoopa slash Rainbow, Bracy Pokemon, and Smoze? I wrote that wrong. Small. But you asked the question, who win a fight? Ultimate Cars versus Shigaraki. Now, Tomura Shigaraki wasn't always Tomura. He was actually a different character by the name, what is Shigaraki's original name? That I'm actually forgetting at the moment. Well, I can find that in just a moment. It was, what was it, Enji? No, Enji is Endeavor's real name. Tenko Shimura. That's what his original name was. But due to his quirk awakening, there's theories, a lot of fan theories about, like, maybe it wasn't a real genius quirk, maybe All For One gave it to him, whatever. Point being, when his quirk awoken, which was disintegrate, he accidentally killed his family. Was left on the street, heroes did not help him, so he developed a hatred of just the world, particularly hero culture, or heroes in general. All For One found him, raised him to be evil, that old chestnut, and ultimately gave him a purpose. Shigaraki is just a one-man wrecking crew. Even before his quirk had awoken, his decay quirk could decay just about anything it touched. Literally, as long as you put all 5 fingers on something, it would decay and it would just break down. As it awoken, he didn't even need to put all 5 fingers, all 5 of his fingers. He didn't even need to put his fingers down. He could just touch the ground with, say, his feet, and things would decay on a mass level. After being experimented on and getting body modifications, he is now well and truly one of the strongest figures in the entire My Hero series. He was able to take massive amounts of firepower from Endeavor, who can basically just incinerate something to ash and still survive. This is due to the fact that he now had enhanced durability, strength, and a healing factor that allowed him to just completely tank everything that was thrown at him. Unless his quirk was being negated. And even when it was being negated, he still had enough durability to keep surviving. So he, beyond that though, he has enhanced strength, enhanced speed and reflexes. His body literally now has an accelerated growth rate. It has nothing to do with quirks. It has to do with the fact that his body actually evolved to the point where he can now adapt to scenarios that are happening. He can even, he's able to grow visage of other people off of his body. He's able also the molt, including shed his skin to get rid of old damage. Obviously, one of the big forms he took was this weird finger form he had all over his body. His quirk decay is, as I said, just completely and utterly overpowered. But beyond that, he also has super regeneration, as he stated. He has the search ability, which allows him to find anyone within a certain distance. He has the air cannon ability, which basically allows him to partially fly in the air, but also fire just blasts of wind. Radio waves, which allows him to communicate or cause communicators with radio frequencies to malfunction. He has the rivet stab, which allows him to basically summon black tendrils to slice into people. He has heavy payload, which allows him to seemingly increase the amount of damage being dealt. He has the ability called scatter, which can split up projectiles, allowing them to scatter all over. He has spring-like limbs, which allows him to basically kind of push and increase his physicality. He does have wings of some kind, stolen from a near high-end Nomu. And obviously, he also has All For One. The actual All For One, not the copy that All For One still has. This allows him to steal quirks, which would mean nothing in this version of a fight, because he's not going against the person with quirks. Hold on a second. Ultimate Cars. I want to just get Ultimate Cars' actual bio up here, because as messed up as... Stop giving me 10. I want H. There we go. Because as messed up as Shigaraki is, again, this is kind of one of those fights that seems a little mismatched, because the ultimate thing, Cars' body contains DNA of every organism to ever live on Earth. He can manipulate his entire body on a cellular level to gain the traits of any life form, such as a bird's wings, that enable him to fly. Beyond that, this does allow him basically the power to adapt to more or less anything. Um, One second here. So, and this is not the site I want to be on. Let me get Ultimate Cars or JoJo. We'll go with JoJo's encyclopedia here, which makes sense. It's a JoJo character. Let's see here. Powers and abilities. Yeah, there we go. As the ultimate thing, super intelligence, superhuman senses, superhuman strength, regeneration. He can heal any wound in a shortened period of time. Immortality. Cars is invincible, immortal, and nigh indestructible. He does not age, is self-sustaining, and is described as more beautiful than a Greek sculpture. And by manipulation, he can manipulate the entire, like I said, all the cells in his body to gain the traits of any life form, bird wings, so forth and so on. He can even detach parts of himself and transform them into separate organisms to act independently of himself, such as turning his hand into a flesh-eating squirrel or turning feathers into armadillo scales, projecting them and morphing them into piranhas and octopus tentacles to bring down Joseph's plane. But his biggest problem in this fight for Shigaraki is that Cars can also alter his body to withstand extreme conditions, as seen when he evolved the continuous layers of inorganic porous material to survive being submerged in magma. He has adaptive evolution. So unless the ability you are using, it'd have to be like a supernova type ability where you just incinerate him right from the get and that's it. Unless you have some ability like that, he will just adapt to whatever it is you are throwing at him. You need literally god tier level abilities to take this guy down, and even that is not a guarantee. You need reality warping. You need just complete incineration, like a nuclear bomb incineration, but probably even farther up on the scale, because it's most likely, because the world they live in, that stuff exists, he could survive that, because he is described as invincible, immortal, and nigh indestructible. I might argue, I mean, I've never seen the series, so I don't know if he's taken a nuclear blast to the face. That might be something that he actually could take, but actually be injured by, as they use the term nigh immortal. But you're talking about immediate incineration or disintegration. You're talking about existence erasure. You're talking about reality warping. You're talking about throwing him into like a black hole or something. You're talking about serious high level tier stuff to probably be able to beat this guy. This guy could probably survive in space because of his adaptive evolution. And then just be continually like going around, flying around in space until he finds where he wants to be. So honestly, the only question I have here is Shigaraki's decay ability strong enough to kill this guy? And because everything else Shigaraki could throw at him, it would not be enough to kill him. Like physical attacks would not be enough. Any like air attacks would not be enough. It just would not be enough to take this guy down, just based on what this guy's whole motif is. He's also got superhuman intelligence cars, which is probably beyond that of Shigaraki's intelligence. Whatever regular car strength is 900 kilograms per cubic centimeter squared, whatever that is supposed to mean. That's kind of math I can't do just off the top of my head. So, would the decay quirk be enough to kill Cars? And my answer to this is most likely no. The reason for this is because we've seen, even at its strongest, it doesn't decay things instantaneously. They're not gone in a flash. They still take at least a few seconds to disappear. That few seconds alone theoretically could be enough for him to evolve to the point where the decay quirk will not work. Add on the fact that he's already nigh indestructible to begin with, the decay quirk would probably be slowed down by his normal durability. So that means that the one weapon Shigaraki has in his arsenal that could work against him probably won't work against him. And by that logic, I would get the fight the Cars, because Cars can just keep evolving past any ability he has. He'll just be able to find every countermeasure he can. Now, the one catch here is that it's not described that there's a lot that Cars can actually throw at Shigaraki as in terms of offense, because he has the DNA of every animal that's ever existed on Earth. But the fact is, Shigaraki is well beyond any animal that exists on the planet, even beyond a T-Rex. Now, granted, Because he can mix and match DNAs, he could in theory like throw like a megalodon or something. He could throw massively powerful creatures at him through DNA and stuff like that. I just don't know if that is enough to destroy him or beat Shigaraki. It'd probably be enough to injure him. But if we're talking about a battle of attrition, which it sounds like this would be, then I would give it to Cars, because Cars can just keep evolving past Shigaraki. Shigaraki can evolve only to a certain extent. After a while, there's going to be a wall I think he hits. Because he only got so many abilities, and none of them are really going to do anything to Cars. At best, they make maybe minor injuries to him, and then he evolves past those. Whereas Shigaraki, we know even with his quirks and stuff like that, can be injured, and those regenerative abilities can be overtaxed. As far as I know, Cars can't be overtaxed. So I mean, was he actually defeated? Let's just see here. Enemies. Cars look down on machines. That's personality. I'd like story here. Let's go history. Here we go. History. Let's see. Was Cars ever defeated? Mars, final battle. Okay. Taking disco. Cars uses the exhausted cure to take everyone back to respective universes and timelines. No, Cars was not defeated. Jorg wondered what Cars was up to. Nah, but he decides it's better off not knowing. I think he was defeated like... okay, original maker time resumes. I'm just looking this up real quick here. Is that Cars jumps out from Parallel World, from Jorg Stein. Yeah, he was never beaten in a fight. So he had the intention of killing himself by getting close to the original world version, but decided to dance. Okay, so there was a scenario where the only way he could have beaten him was like through an alternate version of him, and if they got too close, they'd like cease to exist. But that's like I said, that's next level of power to be able to beat someone like this. So yeah, Shigaraki, I think if we're talking about battle of attrition, would lose to Cars very easily. Not easily, but ultimately. Anyway, I digress. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Who do you got in this fight? Let me know. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.